So about, I think a couple of months ago, like 2 to 3 months, I made the following video about leaving YouTube. And today I'm here to tell you that I've actually returned. And I'm going to explain the reason for this. Also the reason initially, if you didn't watch the first video, why I quit at the beginning. And then now I'm going to explain why I have returned. So if you don't know who I am, my name is Gus, originally pronounced Guus. And over the past 2.5 years of doing online business almost every day, I have learned quite a few things. I have been able to make 9K a month twice in 3 months. I have been able to travel South America freely on my own schedule. And I do say that I've learned a lot of things on the way, which I would love to share with people on the journey too. So to get straight into it, the reason I originally made the video about leaving YouTube was just because I thought it could be interesting to share my thought process. But now, about I guess 2 to 4 months later, I'm not exactly sure, I've made the decision to come back on YouTube. And the reason I originally made the decision to leave YouTube was because of the principle of focus. So back then I knew about the kind of thing which a lot of people already preach, but if you don't know what it is, it's like basically saying that it's better to focus your attention on one thing instead of a bunch of different things, because that allows you to channel a lot of your energy into that one thing. So what I mean is, let's say that this is like the amount of energy you have, or this is like a specific thing, and the arrow represents the amount of energy you have. If you channel this energy into a lot of different things, then you end up going less far when it comes to distance than if you would channel it into one thing, if you compare the distance. Now, what I thought originally was that if I would spend my attention on X or Twitter, because that was the main platform I was on, if I would spend my attention on X as well as YouTube, I would have less progress on both platforms, whereas if I would choose to focus all of my attention on X, I would grow more. This is not false. I still believe that this is true. However, one important thing which I have overlooked, and there's a couple of other things as well, but one of the things I overlooked was that the amount of energy that you put into something matters. And YouTube videos, believe it or not, I don't know if you can judge it based on this video, but they give me a lot more energy than just writing stuff and hardly communicating with a lot of people at all. So because of this, because I do feel that making videos about ideas gives me a lot more energy, because I believe it can help people a lot more than just writing some posts. Because of that, I believe that I can channel more energy into both because it gives me more energy. So whenever people say, for example, like just pick one thing or just make sure that you don't have too many things, I agree, but you do have to keep in mind that it's about the amount of energy you put in. So if something gives you a lot of energy, if you really like to play, let's say, video games after work, and it gives you a lot of genuine energy, not the type of like fake pleasure, but genuine pleasure and genuine energy. If that does help you, then I see no reason why you would not make time to do that every day after work, if it genuinely gives you energy. So that's the first thing which kind of I discovered and was one of the reasons why I am now pivoting back to YouTube. The second thing is that I realized that I really wanted to target a different audience. So what I mean is, the type of people on X, usually how they work is like you have a post here, then you have a post here, then you have a post here, then you have a post here. Usually, depending on how long your post is, people don't spend more than 10 to 20 seconds per short post, and probably close to 1 to 2 minutes per long post. Now, what this means is that if you want to gain someone's trust, and if you are in business, we're obviously in a people game. Business is a people game. And in order to win at that, you need to establish trust with people. And in order to get trust, it helps to be exposed to your clients more. So what I mean is, the longer that people consume your content, the longer they listen to your advice, the more they're going to trust you. And the more they're going to trust you, the more likely they are to pay you money. And since my goal is to get money so I can get more trust from people and provide more value and kind of keep this cycle going, I believe that making videos explaining ideas in long form and video form is going to be much more beneficial to establish trust with my audience. So to kind of give you a bit of backstory about that, the audience I'm targeting is mostly entrepreneurs who have already been through the information. So who have already been through like the business stuff. They know they have to pick a niche. They know they have to like solve a problem for someone. They know to have to like do some outreach or make some content. They know the basics of business, but for some reason they're still struggling. And in my opinion, it's because they are not in alignment with the principles of nature. One of them, which I'm talking about to you right now, is the principle of energy. So as I just discussed, the more energy you have, the more you're able to channel, regardless of how many things you have. The more energy you have, the more you're able to channel. And the second one is based on the principle of trust. So this is more so psychology, which is in a sense also a law of nature. But the more people trust you, the more likely they are to pay you money. And in the game of business, this is obviously what you want. And the final point I would like to discuss, which is a really cool one, is that the X algorithm works differently from YouTube. And the principle I'm going to explain to help you understand this is that on X, if you are a beginner, or even if you have, let's say like me, around 700 followers right now, so about 700 people decide they sometimes would like to read short form posts from me. About 700 people do that. And when you have, you could say, such a small following, then it's going to be incredibly hard for me to succeed with few content. So either it has to be incredibly good, because otherwise it's not going to go viral or stand out. And even if it goes viral, that's not the type of attention I want. I want trust from people, long-term trust. So if it goes viral, maybe it entertains people, but I don't care about that. It should help people get tangible benefit in their life. So because of this, because it is basically harder for a beginner to succeed with few posts, what I mean is the chance that one of your posts is going to beat Alex Hormozi's posts on Twitter or X is very slim, because you're probably going to get less impressions than him. You're going to get less eyeballs. That's like the main thing. You're never going to exceed above that. Even if you make incredible content, because it's so short, you're probably not going to stand out that much, because then the people just scroll to the next, they scroll to the next, and that's how the cycle continues. Now the game with YouTube is much different. So with YouTube, there is much more room for a concept called black swans. Do not confuse you too much. A black swan is basically an extreme event. So an extreme event that's unpredictable, that's only explainable afterwards, and has extreme results, like I just said. Now the thing with YouTube is that people are out there who make one video, have never made any videos before, and the video completely takes off. So like people really like the idea, or they really like the style of the content, and suddenly this person goes from like 0 and no subscribers to like 100,000 subscribers in one video. This happens. And the reason this happens is because there's much more room for it. Maybe there's other videos that people watch, but if this video is like 20 minutes and everyone who clicks on the video watches the entire video and engages with it, then YouTube is going to promote this video much more than the other ones here. And that means the kind of cycle of views is going to continue. So the people that view the video, the more people that view the video, the more people that view the video. And the more people that view the video, the more people that view the video. So on YouTube, there's also much more likelihood and possibility to make a video that's really going to take off. And that's going to get you more trust and eventually also more business. So that were the 3 kind of things which I used to make this new decision. The first one was going to be the energy. So I'm going to go back to YouTube just because it gives me more energy. The second one is because it allows me to build more trust with my audience, which is something I value. It's not for everyone, but something I value. And the third point is because it allows for much more room for... The third one is because there's much more possibility and likelihood for extreme results on YouTube versus X, as for the reasons I just explained. So that's pretty much the framework I used to make this decision. If you did like this video, then feel free to give a like. I also do consulting with people if you're interested in that. There's a link in the description as well. And hope you enjoyed the video. Looking forward to seeing you in the next one.